friends, welcome back. It's time for us to learn a little bit more about another continent that we've been talking about. Earlier in the week, Miss Siobhan taught us about a country called England that's in the continent we're learning about called Europe. And today I want to talk a little bit about another country in Europe. But first, let's find Europe on our globe. On our globe, Europe is the red continent. And let's sing our continent song so we can really remember the names of all 7 continents. Ready? North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa. Don't forget Australia, don't forget Antarctica, North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa. And remember, we're learning about this one, Europe. It's one of the smaller continents, but we already know the smallest continent is actually Australia, right? But today we're learning a little bit about Europe, specifically about the country called Italy, where you could find the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But I want to talk about a special person that I want you to know about, because a lot of what we learn in our classroom is from this special person. And this special person lived in Italy. She's from Italy, a country in Europe. And I'm going to tell you about her. Her name is Maria Montessori. She is a really special person, and she taught so many teachers special ways to teach kids. And guess what? In our classroom, I use a lot of the things that she taught to teach you guys, because Maria Montessori believed that children are very, very special and that they deserve a lot of respect and that they are so smart and so capable that they can do anything on their own. Okay? So I want to read you a little special book about her. This is called Little People, Big Dreams, Maria Montessori. And look what she's holding, this illustration of her. She's holding something that's a little similar to something we have in our classroom, but I'll get to that. Little Maria was born in Italy with an incredible will to learn. Her parents thought that one day she could become a great teacher. And I always say this about some of my friends in my class, that you guys, some of you are so happy to learn new things that I think one day you will be a great teacher too. And look at her. She's little, but she's looking at those books, really wanting to read and learn everything. But her school was the most dull and boring place on earth. So Maria invented games to make learning more fun. So back then, this is a long time ago, this is over 100 years ago, that she was really, really just bored at school. And the teachers, not very fun. It looks like all the children just had to sit there and learn. Is that fun? No, that's not what we do to learn, right? We have a lot of fun to learn, because I learned from Maria Montessori. You'll see, she teaches you how to do it fun. So she made up games to make it fun for herself. When Maria finished elementary school, she was eager to study science, but this was not encouraged for girls. So she had to go to an all-boys technical school. So that's not very fair, right? And we learned, when we learned about Martin Luther King, that it's really not fair for people to be separate, right? Girls and boys can learn the same stuff, and we know that now, but this was a long time ago. Maria decided to become a doctor. Despite all the obstacles in her way, she made it to college. She was the first girl in Italy to study medicine. That is so special. So at this time, girls were not really, it wasn't normal for girls to learn and to become people like doctors. But now we know in today that many girls are doctors, right? And we know now that girls can do anything boys can do. We can all do anything, right? So this was really special for her. In her country, Italy, which is in Europe, she was the first girl to study medicine. That's really, really special. That just goes to show how smart and how She didn't really care about what people thought of her. She really just wanted to be a doctor. She was not allowed to be in the same room as the other students when there was a body to examine, and had to study it alone once the class was over. But Maria didn't give up. How do you think that that made her feel? That she wasn't allowed to work with the boys? That would make me feel really, really sad that I wasn't allowed to do something. But even though it made her sad, she was brave and she didn't give up. She kept studying, kept learning. She knew that one day things would change, right? Once she graduated, Maria became an assistant doctor in a mental health clinic where disabled children were treated as if they were sick. Their only toys were the breadcrumbs left from breakfast. So look, there were some children, different kinds of learners. People thought they were so different that they were sick, but they weren't sick. They were just a little different, and they were not treated well. They were treated, like there was something wrong with them, and that wasn't true. And all they had was breadcrumbs to play with. They didn't have any toys or anything to learn with. That's not okay, right? I wonder what Maria will do. So Maria decided to give the children love and respect as part of their treatment. She knew that in order to give their best, all the children needed was to believe in themselves. So look, don't the children look different now? Before, they were really sad, really lonely, had nothing to play with, nothing to do. The grown-ups in their lives were not treating them very nicely. But Maria Montessori decided to treat them with love and respect and show them how special they are. And now they are happy, they're learning. Things are so different for them now. And she was right. By using games and fun activities, the children started to learn through play. Maria realized her idea could work with any child. So look, she made these special materials for the children to learn with, and things changed for them. They were starting to learn at their own pace. They were happier. Everything was great. And she realized, wow, using these games and special materials, maybe this could work for other children too. She opened a school called the Children's House, where children became their own teachers and desks became small tables full of counting beads and puzzles. So look, the children have these special materials to work with. Maria was the first person to use cutout letters to teach children how to read. She told her students travel stories to make geography fun and insect tales to explain the natural world. Don't we do a lot of that with our school? We learn about geography, which is the study of the world, different places in the world, like the continents. We're learning that. We use cutout letters. Not the movable alphabet. We have that work at our classroom too, but the sandpaper letters, these are Montessori materials. She invented these. So that was how the children were learning, and they loved it. Don't you friends love the way that we learn? They loved learning this way. She wrote many books and traveled the world giving courses and lectures. She helped hundreds of other teachers use her revolutionary method. Soon, models of the Children's House sprang up all over the world. Many schools followed in her footsteps, from Italy to America, that's where we live, and India. So many different countries on so many different continents started learning from her and using the way that she taught how to teach. Little Maria inspired children to be free, curious, and responsible human beings. For the children of today are the makers of tomorrow, right? That's so important because you guys are the ones who are going to be the doctors and the teachers and the nurses and the builders of the world soon when you grow up. So it's so important that we take care of you now, right? The end. So friends, that's a little bit about Maria Montessori, a very special person from Italy. And I just wanted to show you, here we have a sandpaper letter. This is the letter we just learned this week, G, G, G. She showed us how to make these. Also, she made the pink tower. This is a picture I have in my home of the pink tower, but you guys probably noticed the pink tower from our classroom. That's a special work that Maria Montessori made that we have in our classroom, where it has the 10 cubes, pink cubes that you can stack. And around it, this is a special art piece that I have that says, follow the child. And that's what she always said. She said it was so important for everyone, that for grown-ups to follow what the children wanted to do, and that we can teach them, but also learn from you guys too. And here's a special picture of her. This is actually a coaster. Guess what? That Miss Siobhan made me, because Miss Siobhan knows how much I love Maria Montessori. She's so special. So those are just some things that you can see about Maria Montessori. She was so great, and she taught us a lot. So I wonder what my friends do. One of the things Maria Montessori believed was that children could do things on their own. That's independent. Maria Montessori believed that children could pour on their own, serve themselves snack, pick out and change their own clothes. So I want to know, what do you do independently? Something that Maria Montessori would love to know is what you do by yourself at home, okay? So you guys can tell me what you do by yourself at home. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.